Hello and welcome to Sky Defender. My name is Michael Richards and this will be my pitch. Sky Defender is a game where you get to choose your own course. You don't have to go on killing on a set path. You have the freedom to choose your own. In this game, the player will be flying around in a 3D environment, shooting at smaller enemies, which there will be quite a few of, or they will be fighting a main boss. The main bosses will be either on foot or flying around as well, or have the ability to fly for short periods of time. Some of these areas may be in tight quarters, so it's best to keep aware of your surroundings, thus making it harder for the player and adding a bit of a challenge. Each mission will be accepted on a floating city from an NPC that is located in outer space. Upon accepting the mission, the player will either be teleported to the mission or they will have to find a designated gate as in picture 3. Upon accepting a side mission and going through the gate, the player will then be teleported to an area where they are to kill so many of a certain enemy or find an item. Over time, the player will have killed so many enemies, whether it be the small enemies that are flying around or the bosses, and they will be able to purchase shield generators or special weapons that will allow them to choose what will suit them best for future missions. The player will also be able to choose which missions they decide to take. If they take a main mission, they will be taken directly to the battlefield. If they choose the side mission, they will have to report to a gate, and the gate will teleport them to an area in which they must complete the side mission. If the player rejects all of the missions, then the player will have to keep walking around until they find a mission or side mission that best suits them. Here are some examples of the various equipments that will be available to the player, from grenade launchers to pulse rifles to missiles. Some will have the ability to split into two, some will have a faster fire rate, and grenade launchers will have a wider range of attack. As for the shield generators, there are various types that will be available to the player. Here are two examples, each with its own individual unique ability. Some are larger, which will allow for a longer period of time that the player can avoid damage or take hits. And over time, the larger ones will even hold up longer. As for the smaller ones, will die out sooner. After they die out, they must regenerate the power to be used again. The game feels like a few different games all put into one. In the first picture, you'll see a snapshot from Starlink, which will allow the player to fly around on various terrains. The difference between this game and Starlink is, in this one, everything is destructible except for the ground, at the expense of the player's ammunition. Any type of structure standing above the ground will be able to be demolished via shooting it with guns or with the missiles. In the second picture at the top, you'll see a picture or a floating city, which is where you start out and report back to after every mission. This is where you'll find your NPCs to receive each mission or side mission. The fighting style in this game comes from the idea similar to that from Star Conflict 2, in which the player will be able to lock on with missiles to the players and shoot various guns. In addition to this, the player will have a shield which will allow them to withhold damage a lot longer, which is upgradable as well. At the end of the game, the player will reign victorious. If they should happen to die, they will have to repeat the mission without losing any of their progress. Upon completion, the player will have a feeling of victory and accomplishment, and the option to replay the game again.